being a mother, being a daughter, being a wife, being a colleague, being like an employer or employee. So just being herself.
Like only in hell. Extra light, extra camera, extra ring light or something, or extra mic.
Someone can do it for us.
Oh my God. Even for us, it was difficult to watch.
Now we know why they do it in the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there, but now we are here. Now we know what we expect and what we want.
And right now we have a new season coming up.
Trying out something experimental.
Hey guys, my name is Kateryna.
My name is Daria.
And today we're here to wrap up all of the episodes, to take a look at where we've come from. We want to discuss our journey. We want to tell you some behind the scenes, and we want to maybe open up a little bit more about the technicalities of the shooting the episodes, how to choose the studio, how we pick the guests, or how we pick the topics. So we want to actually show you the inside of creating our podcast, and to compare the beginning with the moment right now. I don't want to say the end because it's not the end. Hopefully.
So we wrote the plan.
We have
for
a
us
plan
with questions that we got while we were recording 10 of our episodes. So the first question is why and how we started. In the beginning, it was Kat's idea to record podcasts. I was very skeptical about podcasts. I was like, who listens to podcasts? Like, are you serious? And for me, podcasts were something in your phone, like Apple Podcast or Spotify. It's like, that's for old people. Like, I would never listen to podcasts. Like, what the hell is that? Then I realized that I actually watch a lot of YouTube shows, and those are called like podcasts as well.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, maybe that's fine. When Kat proposed me that idea, I was like, okay, I also want to create a women community. And the idea behind the women's community was to create a safe space where a woman can feel just herself without having to put any role in herself, like being a mother, being a daughter, being a wife, being a colleague, being like an employer or employee. So just being herself. And in this synergy, we created like this podcast where it's about women for women, to show women that there are some negative thoughts that we can experience. And then when we blame ourselves that we are acting some way and just like saying, oh, I'm a bad mom, or I'm a bad employee or something. But in reality, we all do that. We just like, no one talks about it. So we want to cover those topics in order for all of us to feel comfortable within our shoes and feeling comfortable for who we are.
And to show another side of them. Let's say if someone is a mom, but they're also an entrepreneur, and we want to show them that, yes, you can do both. You can be a good mom, you can be a good businesswoman, you can be a good wife, and you can actually manage everything. And we want to show this, like with Albina, who created her business with her husband. For some people, it's very challenging to say that, oh my God, I'm gonna work with my husband. Please no, like only in hell. But they actually created this business. They live together, they work together, and if you haven't seen that episode, please take a look, because there are a lot of insights, about this synergy that they have. So it's very cool to show people that there is not only one option to live this life, but there are multiple options, multiple opinions, multiple discoveries that you can do throughout your life. And we just want to show that, yes, there is this side too, good or bad, but yes, it exists.
The next question is, how did we come to that point where we actually posted the first episode?
Yeah,
that's a funny story.
It took us some time to actually post it. Well, first of all, we were debating about the language, like whether like it should be in English or in Russian. And then we debated like where to film it. Like, what are we going to talk about? What's going to be the first topic? What is actually like the whole theme of the podcast? So it was a lot of discussion before. I think it took us a month or 2 months to
even come to the point where we're recording.
Yeah.
How we actually posted it. So we recorded our first podcast in I think either end of October 2023 or beginning of November 2023. And what we did, we actually hadn't posted it. We already had the edited podcast, but we thought it's not good enough. Like I was thinking in my head, it's not good enough. I need more editing in it. And I went actually on vacation to Thailand. And I was like, okay, we need some extra time to post it. I just need to make it perfect. And what Kat did, she was like, I don't care. It's good enough.
We
I'm
have
just
to
gonna
go.
post it. And I just wake up and she's like, okay, I posted it. And I was like, oh, okay, I feel so vulnerable right now because something that I created is actually going live and a lot of people's gonna see it. And actually, I'm very happy that a lot of people, our friends and the people that we know, they actually really supported us with our first episode. It was a very interesting for everyone and intriguing that we're actually doing something new. So the point is, we were trying to make it perfect, but what we needed at that time, your energy, let's just post it. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's start it, and that's how we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Because remember, we haven't even started editing. We already had 4 or 5 episodes, and we weren't editing them.
Yeah.
Oh, I tried editing it myself.
We did try ourselves, and because we couldn't get to the perfect image and to the perfect sound, we couldn't get to that point, and we still were not happy. But because it was 3rd or 4th episode already, we were like, okay, you know what? Let's go, and then we will just keep improving whatever we are doing, and we will deal with this. We're gonna live with the first episode. It is what it is, but we're gonna keep working on this.
I feel like what also pushed us at that point, because we recorded a podcast with Christina. So we already had a guest.
We had a guest, yes.
And we felt extra pressure that, okay, we have to start rolling, because our guest already, she put her energy, she put in her time.
Yeah.
And we need to show her the product.
Yeah.
So we're just okay, we have to start rolling.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Christina, for being our first guest. You pushed us into actually, manifesting ourselves to this world.
Yeah.
Lessons learned. So first thing I want to start with is how we were looking for a podcast studio.
Yeah. It's
that
very
was
interesting.
Challenging. And in Toronto, the market of podcast studio is very, very expensive. And since we treated this as a project that we are trying out, we were not ready to invest thousands of dollars into
production,
just recording for one episode or something. So, and I feel like you were looking for the studio, right, at that time?
Yeah. And I think, first of all, I was surprised by the customer service of some of the studios when they just did not respond.
Not reply, yes.
I was like, how do you guys do business? It's mind blowing for me, because technically I'm in customer service, right? Because I'm a law clerk, so I work with the clients, and for me, not to respond to people when they are interested to buy something for you, it's like a
give
nonsense.
You money.
I'm here to buy something, and you just do not respond. And I think it's not like we were texting hey, we have this idea. No, we were we need a studio for this time, this day. Are you available? So we were ready to go again, because we had a guest already planned out or something like that. People were not responding. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then eventually we found these guys. I think I skipped them. I didn't want to text them for some reason, but then you sent the link to them because you started looking for the studio as well. You sent me the link and I was like, okay, let's try them. Something was off, but then we were like, okay, but because people are not replying or they want thousands of dollars for one episode, we were like, okay, you know what? This one looks good. Let's try this. So we found this studio, but then the way that they worked was they had a base price, and then there was multiple add-ons, for extra light, extra camera, extra ring light or something, or extra mic. So everything was an add-on. So technically it was cheaper, but by the time you actually roll out
add on everything.
It's pretty much a lot. So we were like, okay, fine. And at first we were filming on our iPhones because we thought, we can make it with an iPhone. I mean,
It wasn't that bad. Okay?
I mean, now it's so funny, but at that moment we were so serious about this. Funny part is that we have to bring all of the stuff with us. Technically, like the iPhones to shoot, the tripods, the lights, the ring light, extra mini lights with colors because they didn't have any color lights, so we had to bring those as well. Plus at least one change of clothes. So we let's say you do hair and makeup and then you're wearing some heels and now it's winter and you have I don't know, several bags with all of this stuff, and then you go to Starbucks to grab coffee because you just need extra.
With all of those bags.
Yeah.
I feel like I also brought my laptop for the first episode. It was so heavy.
And it was just a lot. And then we grabbed this also extra coffee, extra sandwich. Okay, now let's go. And so, of course, it was a lot. And then they didn't have an elevator, so it's just stairs. So all of this stuff. So by the time we get there, we already,
sweating.
Makeup is gone, hair is whatever. You cold and you're okay, let's do this. We got the first episode, and the first one we decided to have a script. We were because it's a lot of pressure. So let's jot down.
It's gonna sound better if we have script.
Exactly. So we had a script, and it was the most boring episode. Because we were trying to put, some value to that episode. So we were, it was from the heart.
I'm gonna make this method more grounded and more less esoteric and more materialistic.
Several minutes we were trying to read, and then we tried to show the pictures and everything. And it took an hour. And then when we were just watching this, we were like, oh my God, even for us, it was difficult to watch. What about other people? And this topic we actually were interested in. So, and we were boring, from ourselves. We were bored. We're like, oh no, we cannot post this. This cannot go live. So it was the first one, the pilot. And we were like,
the
what?
zero.
Yeah. Tell about the second one that we've tried.
The other episode that we were shooting, we were trying to understand. We didn't like the setup in the first room, so it was like, okay, let's try a different room with a different setup. It was larger room, and same with the setup took about an hour because we sitting everywhere. Kat was my model, so I was doing the cameras, I was doing the lights, and we're trying to make it look good. So it took us a lot of time. We did not have enough experience in order for it to look good. So when we recorded, it was a fantastic episode. I feel like it was very great. It was very insightful. I was very playful on the camera.
You say universe, I'll say unleashed. Go.
Okay.
Universe. Unleashed.
But what happened, that studio, that room was very light. There was a lot of daylight. So what happened, especially because we were recording on iPhones, and it was the cinematic mode in order for the picture to look like a cinema, because we were learning so much stuff how to shoot on our iPhones. Remember? We were just okay, let's watch these videos on YouTube. How can we make it better? So the quality of the video was. It's also because what we did there, what wasn't good, because we recorded on a wide angle.
Yeah.
And when I was trying to edit the episode, I was cutting it like a close up of it.
Yeah.
So the quality just went down. So that's.
But we didn't know. We thought the more space we've got, the more room we have to
I was just like,
work
we'll
on.
cut it out. I was telling Kat, we'll cut it out. Don't worry about it. We'll cut it out. I'm gonna frame it. Don't worry. It's gonna work. So that one, unfortunately, we didn't post it, even though the content was great and we loved it so much because we didn't have script at that time.
Yeah, it was a very nice episode. Yeah, but still unpublished. So, and then we come to our third one, which actually ended up our
being
first
our first
one.
episode. Yeah.
And by that time, we already learned that actually you need to clap before you start shooting.
1, 2, 3. Oh,
Audio.
right. So after that one where the quality of the video wasn't nice, our editor, the guy who was editing our videos at that time, he told us, because what happened, because we were recording on 3 iPhones. So Kat's shot, my shot, and the wide shot.
Plus the mics.
Yeah, so 3 cameras, 2 mics, And all 3 cameras record the audio as well. So it's 5 audio files, 3 video files. And the guy who was editing, he was like, okay, guys, it would really help me a lot next time if you would clap in the beginning.
Yeah.
So in order for me to match all the videos and all the audio tracks, I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Now we know.
like, oh.
Now we know why they do it in the movies.
Yeah. Будешь мне говорить тогда?
It's just to match the video and the audio for like the tracks.
Yeah, and we didn't know. So it was I think the learning process was fun for sure. I mean, it looks like we spent so much time like on unpublished episodes, but still we learned a lot. And I think the studio, like, it means a lot because this one they closed very abruptly for renovations. We were to book the studio like for, let's say, for next weekend or something. And then when I go to website, the booking is canceled. I'm like, what the hell? And then I sent them an email and they were like, yeah, we're closing for the renovation. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, you have a little episode scheduled.
Yeah, like a little notice would be nice, but okay. So we had to find a new studio. Like, oh, this one, actually, I want to mention that this studio, they did offer cameras and we tried those. I don't know why, but for some reason, the video would be like slower. It's like a slow motion. I don't know why. They had like something.
Yeah,
with
the camera was
battery.
like warming up or something. So the video started to be like, being in slow motion, or like some of the frames were cut out.
Well,
You just have to
apparently,
control it.
but for us, like, if you pay extra, you're like, why would I pay extra for this if it's like my iPhone like shot was better? Like at that moment, it was better. Trust me. We were looking for a studio, and then we found a really nice studio. Like they had a beautiful setup. They had like very nice cameras. And but it was more expensive, so we were like, oh my god, okay, let's see. But right now we don't have a choice. Let's try that. At some point we were actually ready to pay extra if we have the good quality of video, like audio. So okay, let's put some extra into this because we love how like the picture, how it looks like. It was perfect. The guest was happy, but the vibe was so off. I mean, it depends on the person who is there, like so much. Because if you feel uncomfortable, it doesn't matter what camera is that. It doesn't matter if the light is good. It doesn't matter if the couch is comfy. It doesn't matter if the vibe is off. Like you will not be happy with the episode anyways. And we ended up like with a really uncomfortable episode. One, we didn't post because we shot 2.
Yeah.
That was the first one there where it was just you and me. And then the second one, there was a guest. So thanks God, by the time the guest was there, we felt a little bit better. But the first one was so under pressure, so stressed out.
So tight, yeah.
Yeah, but at that moment, you can see how tense we were. It was so like under pressure, very scary. So yeah, we didn't post that one as well. And we felt like really bad because we paid extra money for this.
So much money. Yeah.
And we didn't use this. And we're like, I mean, we cannot post it. Like it's really bad. With the guest, it was a little bit better because I mean the guest was nice and we felt a little bit
More
calmer.
comfortable after the first
more
episode,
comfortable. It's very nice to have a person behind the scenes who can tell you, like they can stop you and say, hey, like you need to put this together, or like something is off, and because you can cut it out and then you can continue. And with this one, no one told us that the chair of the guest was going down as we filmed, and she started on one level, and by the time we finished the episode, she was like lower.
Yeah, so there was a lot more space above her head.
Yeah, I mean it's not that critical,
yeah,
but still.
When you're paying so much money.
I know, exactly. If you're like shooting on an iPhone, that's fine. But if you're paying for this, then I guess you would expect like high quality product.
What I actually also wanted to mention about the first studio, like when we were recording ourselves, so before the studio, when we tried someone recording the videos for us and, like doing all the setup and everything, because it saved so much time. Because even for that studio that we booked and we had the first experience with the person behind the scenes,
Yeah.
like behind the cameras, we were just like, oh my god, like we had to book extra hour for our setup because that's what we usually do. And when the guy offered like to do everything for us, it was just like, oh my god, so cool. Like
Yeah.
someone can do it for us, so we don't have to spend an hour like, you know, setting up all the cameras and
And
all
bring
the
the
lights. Yeah, because the even like the it's not about the color lights, it's important as well, but it's more important about the
ring
soft
light,
lights.
yeah.
Yes, like the light that goes into your face, how important it is. A lot of people don't know how lighting is important, like in order to for the picture to look good. It's just it's so crucial. So what I liked with that experience with the first studio when we were recording on our iPhones, because we learned so much. We learned the angle we
Yeah.
like to be shoot at. Because like if you watch our first episode, the angle is like here. Like I'm so tall and you can see all of this and just like what I got as a feedback from my friends, Dasha, you don't look like this in your real like in real life. Why are you feeling
And
like,
you're like,
I was like,
"Thanks,
okay, I
God."
know, thank you. I know. Okay, I'm learning. It's a learning process. Okay. And I was like, I especially remember, I was like, oh, this episode looks bad, but you know what? Let's post
Yeah,
it.
we have
So like, you know, a year later, be like, yeah, we were there, but now we are here. You know, we're so like we got so much better with the quality of ours, like the sound and the video. This experience of us actually but that one could say that was wasting of our time. It's actually was a learning experience for us to know what we want. And now when we come here to the Graham studio,
Which we love, our favorite student.
hi Graham, he's waiting. So when we come to the Graham studio, now we know what we expect and what we want. So it's easier for all of us to work together
Yeah.
when we know exactly what we want and we ask for it.
Yeah, but also I would mention that the vibe is very important because
Yeah.
we feel comfortable here. That's why, like, even, you know, the facial expression or like the jokes you're making, like, you're more, you know, flowy and like it's really nice. So, yeah, it means a lot.
How we chose the studio in the beginning, like the first one. What I also got as a feedback for our first couple of episodes was like, okay, why do you have this huge mics in front of you?
Oh, okay, yeah.
It looks like it looks too much, and especially when you talk like this. Now everyone paying attention. The audio it's not working. You know, like you cannot hear the person. So why weren't you using those like small mics that you can buy for $20 on Amazon? And you know, and just you can turn in any direction and everyone would hear you. Well, first of all, those cheap ones, they provide you with a bad quality of sound. You have to usually the cheap ones, they connect to your iPhone, so the quality
Yeah.
of the audio already goes down. It's not a professional equipment. The other thing is, with this, like we have long hair, like we're girls, we have clothes, so all of this, like, you know, like moving around, like everyone would hear
It would be
it.
so loud, yeah.
And the most important thing that we learned when we were watching those YouTube videos, how to make YouTube podcasts, was that the quality of the sound is the most important thing. So we learned that we have to, and these mics are very expensive. Like we are not paying the price of these mics when we are renting a studio. And even the equipment that records the sound is very important
Yes.
as well. So this is why we are recording in the studios like this, where we have the huge mics in front of us, because we're gonna get the best quality of audio.
Yeah, for sure.
The other thing that we learned during the first studio that we tried, we were so comfortable there. We were like, you know, like the process was going. We already found the editor and everything went smoothly. And he, you know, like he could manage all of those, you know, crazy numbers of videos and audio files that we had and that we're sending to him from our iPhones. And then all of a sudden the studio closes. And we're just like, okay, so what do? We have to find a new one. So we found this new studio. The quality of the video there is so much higher. So it's like it was 4K videos. It's not like iPhone quality.
Yeah.
And we sent all of that to our editor. And what happens, his computer could not manage.
Yeah, the render. When he put it on render,
Yeah.
like it burned. Like that's it.
His computer burned. And we were like, okay, the episode has to be posted in 2 days. and we have nothing. And we were like, okay, now we have to find a different editor because we were waiting for him to get a new part for his laptop.
Yeah, he was like, it's okay, I'm gonna get a new part. Like
Yeah.
someone promised me to get a part. I'm gonna get a part and like I'm gonna put it together. He got a part, like, and he's like saying, oh, it cost me so much money. We're like, okay, fine. But did you like put it together?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'm gonna try it now, but if it's like start, overheating again,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna stop and like I'm sorry, I cannot do this for you. And when he tried to put it together again on the render, and he was like, no, I can't. Like I see the temperature is going up, like I stopped. So guys, you're like on your own right now. And we're like, oh, nice.
Now we lost like our editor who was doing like, he already knew what we wanted. Like,
Yeah.
like everything was on track. So it's so hard that we had to start all over again. But what we learned from that was like, 2 lessons almost at the same time. Just like we cannot rely like on one studio or like on one person, and we cannot rely on one editor. So we always have to know that we have to have like plan B
Yeah.
for this if this situation are happening. So right now we have like 5 editors. Whoever is available gets the job because this is how we make it fast. But we've learned that we cannot put all the eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
I think we all know this proverb, but we didn't follow. Like we didn't follow.
We
it back
didn't.
then.
Yeah, we're like so happy that we have that
Yeah.
editor. We're like, okay, fine, cool. We're good to go now. But yeah, we didn't think about it at all.
The next topic we want to cover is how the planning process works for us, how we plan episodes, how we decide which guests to invite, and how do we choose the theme for the topic, for the episode as well.
So when we just started doing this, we were like, okay, you know what? We don't have the roadmap yet, because let's try different things and then we'll see what works for us, what works for everyone, and then we're gonna just keep doing that. So until right now, we had like random topics which were very important for us to discuss. So we invited guests that were, appealing to us. So that was, I wouldn't say random, because still it was all connected about the women, about the exploration, about the different sides of the womanhood. But right now we have this structure. So that's why we're doing a wrap up, because we want to show that has been done like this. And right now we have a new season coming up, and it's going to be more structured.
So how we chose the guests, as you mentioned, we chose the guests who were appealing to us, and the topics were guest driven. So the guest, their personality would drive the topic. What do we want to discuss, and how can we connect that to the guests? Because it was important, like what's the guest, what's their expertise, what's their experience, and what we want to ask about that. This is how we were doing this before. Right now, we are preparing, as you mentioned, we're preparing the full season. That one will be like, connected to each other. So it's not going to be, it's going to be still guest driven. But now we are all doing, now all of the guests are going to be under one umbrella of topics.
Right. And right now, let's say we have a topic that we want to discuss. And let's say if the guest is not happy with the topic, then we'll just find a different guest who would be talking about this. So it's more topic driven than, I guess, guest driven, probably. But again, it's a learning process. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll just go back to the first plan, how it works. So we'll see.
Or we'll probably develop something new. Each episode we learn something new, and we learn on our mistakes, and we even discover new sides of us.
Yeah,
I would say with every episode. Like, see, now we are trying like orange light instead of purple. So now we're going to talk about something sensitive, how we felt, like how we feel about like even recording podcasts. We had some things that we worry about consistently and that could be anxious about. So the huge decision for us was to record all the podcasts in English, which is not our mother language. And can I say that was your worries? Like,
it was mine. Yeah, I'm open about this. I'm worried about my accent. I worry about my vocabulary, because it's a lot smaller than in my first language. So I felt that I wouldn't be able to express myself as much as I can speak in Russian. So yeah, it was my concern. I mean, it's not that I'm shy or I'm concerned about my language skills or something. I'm not, but I thought that, I cannot open up enough in the conversation if I speak in English. And also because of the accent, sometimes like people can misunderstand what I'm saying. And that was my concern. And that's why I didn't want to do it in English. I was still gonna do it in Russian anyways. Yeah, it was my concern. I'm happy how it works right now, but I don't know. Was it your concern? I think no. You wanted in English from the get-go.
I wanted it to be in English, but it's actually for the same reason.
Okay.
Because I feel so uncomfortable with my English, and that I wanted this challenge for myself. Because when we challenge ourselves, we become better.
Okay.
In anything in our lives. It doesn't have to be like, it's even if I challenge myself speaking English and discussing like serious topics in English, it actually makes my life better, and more harmonized.
Yeah.
Like overall, I become more confident in myself that I can actually do it. I manifest to the world. A lot more people can hear my voice when we speak English.
Yeah, I didn't think about this from this perspective, but I think you're right. And it does open up more options and advantages for you when you do it in English. But again, I'm the person who loves freedom. And I feel like if I speak in my language, in my first language, I feel like I have more freedom of expressing myself. And like I can make jokes, I feel more comfortable. I mean, it's nice to have your comfort zone. But again, I don't mind like doing this way.
Well, it's already been 10 episodes.
Oh, well, yeah. So yeah, of course I don't mind.
Of course you don't mind. The other sensitive topic that happened to us recently, we had like a 2 months break from posting any videos.
It was 2 months?
Yes.
Oh my God, I didn't calculate that. Okay.
No, I didn't calculate it as well. Just YouTube told me, okay? The last episode was posted 2 months ago. Was like,
I didn't pay attention to this then. Oh no. Okay, so yes, that's a very sensitive topic. I agree. Because I think what happened, we got to a point of our lives, like on a separate,
separate levels. Journeys,
yes,
at the same time.
But at the same time, so it was pretty nice to have a pause at the same time, because sometimes you have to set priorities, and podcast was not one of them, even though we love it, even though we dedicate a lot of energy and time to this, and like a lot of people are involved right now in this thing. But at some point, like for me personally, it was not on my top priorities, and I felt bad about this. I was like, we already have done so much, and how to come back, and what, it's very difficult to put something on pause and then to come back. I mean, it's a lot easier to stop doing something. It's difficult. It's more difficult to actually accept it and say, okay, yes, like it wasn't good enough, like for me personally, but you know what? I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna like do it better. Like I took a break. I'm grateful that I can, prioritize my life and like make choices. So yes, I took a break, but now like I'm making a choice to come back, and that I want to do this. I want to pursue this, and it's really nice that we actually have this flexibility, that like we can take a pause and continue something. So you don't have to be so hard on yourself every time that you are not fulfilling, your expectations.
So now we come to the point of time of the present. Now we are starting something new. So we posting all the videos once a week. Before it was bi-weekly, and now we are trying out something experimental. We actually recorded our first episode in Russian, so we're gonna post it and see how that goes. Because all of this experience that we like our podcast journey, it's all trials and errors. We're testing the ideas. We come up with ideas. We test it. We see how it works. And you know what I loved? When we just started, I watched this video of the girl who is like a huge YouTuber. She told us like no, she did say in the video,
Us.
like you have to post at least 20 videos on your YouTube channel to even make your first analysis of what works of what not. So we're just like, this is going to be our 11th video, so 9 more to go, and then we will try different stuff already at that point of time, and at that point we will decide like what works for us or what doesn't.
Yeah. So now what you can expect is there will be more collaborations. There will be more guests. There will be more sensitive topics and more, I think, like hot stuff that we will discuss. So yeah, stay tuned. Make sure to like, comment, and share. And yeah, we'll see you next season.
Thank you so much. Bye.